Welcome to Electrified, it's your host, Dylan Loomis. Tesla's big summer release software update is finally starting to roll out to customer cars, and many of those updates are coming with FSD 14.3.8. And Tesla told us the summer release is using Grok ThinkFast 2.0, which is SpaceX AI's latest version of its speech-to-speech model. This of course would contrast with earlier versions using speech-to-text, which can be a lot slower. And not only should ThinkFast 2.0 be faster, but it should be a lot more conversational and natural as well. And no big deal, but based on the benchmark, this ThinkFast 2.0 is supposed to be the best speech-to-speech model in existence right now. This is also exciting because ThinkFast 2.0 is what Starlink is using for its agentic customer service, which has been handling a high volume of inquiries. But most importantly, Grok now has access to much more of your Tesla vehicle.
Hey Grok, I want you to do all of these things at once. Turn the temperature to 65, open the glove box, turn my windshield wipers to the fastest setting, fold my mirrors, and open my self-driving app.
Done. Temperature's at 65, glove box is open.
All right, can you now stop the windshield wipers, close the self-driving app, and unfold the mirrors?
Wipers off, self-driving app closed, and mirrors unfolded.
Where can I adjust my acceleration settings?
Your acceleration settings are right here on the Dynamics page. You can choose between chill, standard, and sport modes.
I am hearing, at least for now, that older Intel-based Teslas will not have this full suite of Grok commands. But for those with a Ryzen chip, you can now make phone calls, search and play music, which for me is a big one, adjust the climate, open the glove box, and answer questions about your Tesla. So this is an incredible user experience update, but I think about the people that are hesitant to switch to a Tesla because of the touchscreen and getting distracted while driving. So in my opinion, this would be a great feature for Tesla to advertise publicly so that specific group of people is not so skeptical. So with this update, completely hands-free, you can basically tell your car anything you need while you're driving or riding. And the next layer deeper that's supposedly around the corner, being able to audibly give FSD commands about how you want it to behave. And I can almost guarantee you there will be more commands with this release than we're aware of right now. I'm thinking things like open the browser, and specifically the line of questioning to get more information about your specific vehicle and current vehicle statuses. And I'm not sure how far this has rolled out, but I'm finding that my in-car conversations with Grok are now transferring to my desktop and my phone. And I know some of you have asked about that, so yet another very nice feature. Now, in terms of your car having a memory of past in-car conversations, I'm not sure Tesla is there yet, but I'd be confident it's on the list for the future. And a separate UI, FYI, Devin Olson said websites like Plex and HBO now open full screen when you browse them. So when you go through the browser to certain websites, it'll pull it up as if it were a full-blown app natively. Today, Tesla Robotaxi said it now runs from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week, and the unsupervised fleet is a lot bigger. Also, upgraded intelligence in vehicle distribution and routing means you wait less. I know some will consider this rage bait because why not give us a number of the unsupervised fleet, but I think part of it is because it does fluctuate day to day. So all we have for now is the anecdotes about wait times that from city to city seem to be quite reasonable, and more folks are saying that it's a more usable service. Of course, I think that 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. slot is going to be a huge demand driver for the future, thinking about people out at the bars, out late, drinking. But frankly, at this point, for Tesla to just avoid it altogether while it works on everything else, I think would be a wise move. And this update was for all 6 active cities: Austin, Dallas, Houston, Miami, Orlando, and Tampa. I have what I believe to be a healthy level of paranoia around Tesla's FSD recognizing any type of thin linear object around eye level. So I was encouraged by this video that Andy Sly shared of FSD avoiding it. So it might not seem like much, but given the challenges we've seen from other instances, I was pleased to see this outcome. And this image was going around of the Cybercab at night with the Cybercab decals showing that they are reflective, which I think looks awesome. If you've been following my X account as of late, you will understand why I'm sharing this right now. I've been working on this Tesla uptrend pullback strategy in the Moomoo engine. And yes, Moomoo is the sponsor of this video, but I think you'll be interested in this program. And the route I chose, it's just new strategy, and I went with the code strategy using Python. I dropped in the code with all of the parameters I want in here and then click backtest. Given the parameters I have in the code, the past 1 year should be good for this one. Initial capital will say $10,000 and continue. On the trigger screen, I'm going to select run once for every 1 day candle. And then on the parameters tab, I have everything input that I want for this backtest. This is not a financial advice segment, so I won't get into detail. And run strategy. And let me be very clear, the point of me showing you this is not to show you any pretty returns or performance, not at all. It's just to show you the power of Moomoo Engine and what you can do to go back and backtest your trading and your methodologies. So as I've been saying, do not sleep on this platform because of the name. I did that for too long. And of course, Moomoo covers things like stocks, ETFs, options, crypto, and even prediction markets. And I'm telling you, Moomoo has one of the better news aggregators I've seen. I'll come to the trending news tab nearly every morning to see what's going on. And it has AI built in, so I can say, show me Tesla's profitability trend, operating profit for the past 5 years. And seconds later, you get a quick overview of the trend and a table showing you year by year. And for Tesla stock, this is where I come to review all of the past fundamentals. You can see you can get all the way into the weeds. So shout out to Ross Cameron, one of my favorite traders, for putting me onto this platform. And if you did want to make a deposit, Moomoo is offering Electrified viewers up to an 8.1% APY and up to $1,000 on Nvidia stock. Or if you just want to try out the tools for free, you can use my link in the description below, or you can use the QR code on the screen. I believe Holmars has special insight into the S&P Global information, and he said that 8,400 Cybertrucks were registered in the US in the first half of this year. That down from 12,800 units in the first half of last year. Now we know Cybertruck production has had some legal challenges in the first half of this year, and in the second half of this year we should get a boost from the lower priced trim. However, when you factor in the 125,000 unit annual capacity for Cybertruck, things just are not looking good. And sadly, I think part of the reason is if we have people like myself thinking that, well, I'd love my wife to drive this vehicle in the future, but I'm concerned with any potential danger or harassment that she might experience in the future just from driving that vehicle. I'm not saying that's the decision I've already made. I'm just saying it's a very real thought and concern that I have. And listen, Ashley and I don't live our lives based on fear, especially from a hypothetical thing that other people may or may not do. But my point here is if I'm at least considering it, then you know many more are also thinking the same. So hopefully these depressed first half numbers will largely be explained away by the supplier shortage and things pick up in the back half of this year, but we'll see. And Tesla did just raise the price for both the dual motor and premium all-wheel drive variants of the Cybertruck by $5,000 each. So the entry-level variant now starts at $75,000 and the premium starts at $85,000. But this might be as simple as a supply limitation because on the website it's saying estimated delivery is into 2027 for the entry-level variant. And for the premium, estimated delivery is October to November this year. Or this is an early sign that Tesla is concluding the Cybertruck, at least for now, is going to be a low volume halo type of vehicle, not a high volume seller that it was initially hoping it would be. Giga Berlin really seems to be ramping up. Andre Thierig said the 25 guns at Giga Berlin are hiring ace engineers to get things done with a hardcore sense of urgency. If you forgot, the 25 guns team is basically like the Navy SEALs, the best of the best. And importantly, Andre said cell production focus is a plus. So this could be early preparations for Tesla semi-production at Giga Berlin. Or it could also just be Tesla scaling Model Y output over there and continuing to build out 4680 production locally. There were some rumors that Tesla was pulling its FSD out of China and stopping development over there, but Tesla China confirmed those rumors are false. Tesla has not vacated its data center in Shanghai, and it said it reported those online rumors to the police. Tesla said the Shanghai data center is operating normally, and recruitment for driver assistance related positions is also accelerating, and the relevant work is progressing steadily. So for now, it's status quo. Tesla has yet to offer FSD subscriptions in China and has not announced a timeline for broadly rolling out FSD locally. And just a small anecdote, but one Li Auto executive did say when talking about autonomy, there's no system other than Tesla's FSD that can rank among the first tier.
Saw one of the latest Optimus demos. I teased it at the beginning of the show. Can't say what I saw. But I can tell you what I saw is better than anything I just saw at these World Games. Optimus is going to be the greatest product ever made by humanity. It is next level. It's being built by Tesla. You know, they ripped out the Model X and the Model S factory lines, and they're building these. Optimus is going to, if Optimus came to these games, I would predict Optimus wins 35 of 51 contests.
I mean, what?
Of the robots, Optimus, I will guarantee you, we will be sitting here in 10 years, and there will be 1 billion Optimuses in the world. I think, you know, in addition to the hardware that I think is 1.5 generations beyond these, I think the brain is like 5 generations behind these. This is not to diss anything happening in China. They're building legit stuff. But I think Optimus is going to be the greatest selling product in the history of humanity. It will sell and provide more value than the iPhone.
Speaking of the humanoid race, this week we had 2 pretty prominent releases. We had Figure announcing its Index initiative, and we had another company out of Pittsburgh, Skilled, release its own breakthrough when it comes to humanoid training. But it's clear to me it's not well understood exactly what's going on here, so to really simplify things, Figure is gathering video data from humans for pre-training. So get as much diverse video footage from humans as it can to ultimately train its Helix model to push toward this generalized solution for humanoids. Then separately, we have this Skilled company that announced its S1 training breakthrough, where it does a one-shot type video. It then holds the weights steady, which means it is not changing any of its pre-training that it's already done. So for Skilled, think of these video instructions almost like a prompt. Skilled is not using these video demonstrations for the pre-training phase. It has already done that, and then these videos would be on top of that once again as a one-shot prompt or instruction. And as we know, Figure is building the physical humanoid as well as the brain, which is what it calls Helix. But this Skilled company is only building the brain. And the breakthrough people are talking about for S1 is learning from one single video rather than running an entirely new training run where you incorporate plenty of different video footage and you adjust the weights to incorporate that new task. Instead, Skilled is saying, okay, we've done our pre-training, now let's see what we can teach these models just with one video without adjusting any of the weights of the model. And this is not some random company. It was founded in 2023 and it's already worth $14 billion. And there's one number that Skilled shared, 66%, that I think needs explanation. So if you imagine a 10-minute task like baking something following a recipe, there's of course many different steps in that process. So Skilled was saying, of all of those individual steps in this one broader video, how many steps did the robot get right? And then they averaged that answer across their list of these new tasks, which they haven't revealed. But that average was 66%, and they were comparing that to 9% for the VLA type model, where you speak to it, you ask the robot what to do, and then it uses the pre-training data to do so. And Skilled did say that both models saw the same amount of training data and they had the same type of hardware. So the only thing that changed was the instruction that was given to the robot, either a demo video or words. But the problem with that 66% success number is every time the robot would fail a step, let's say step 3 of 10, they would have a human step in, fix whatever went wrong, and then they would let the robot keep going from there. And from there, every step after that would continue to get a pass or fail mark. But obviously in the real world, that's not how things work. If part of the process is broken at step 3, then the rest of the process might all be wrong. And just the math of the situation, if every step was independent and was hit successfully 66% of the time, if you have a job with 10 steps, that means the robot would finish successfully about 1.6% of the time. But alternatively, again, going to the language prompt, something like bake the recipe, where a demo visual clip was not shared, it was only successful 9% of the time. Once again though, at each individual step. So what that means is on tasks that the model has never seen before, words were basically useless and the video clip was far more useful. So for brand new tasks, the video demo was clearly superior. But to anyone thinking S1 has a novel technology where you can go from one video demonstration to the robot doing that successfully most of the time alone, that's just not the case. This is already built on the foundation of some serious pre-training. However, I think it's obvious to see why this could be such a big deal if advancements here continue, because if a company like Tesla can have a very solid foundation of pre-training, a lot done in simulation, teleoperation, downloading videos from the internet, which by the way, people like Brett are now saying the entire internet doesn't have enough video training data for humanoids. But rather than having to run these very expensive training runs every new time you want a new task incorporated in the behavior, or the policy as they call it, you can just have a solid pre-training foundation and then feed it specific video demos, some that can last up to 10 minutes. And then from there, the robot will be able to learn that specific task. So if you have a video library built out of a handful of different common household tasks, you can see how that would shorten the time to getting a useful robot. But guys, hear me when I say there is such a long way to go here, at least from these releases, because Skilled has not run its S1 brain on any humanoid robot, at least not that we know of. So it's one thing to have robotic arms executing based on video footage. It's an entirely different thing to have a full-blown humanoid doing the same. And separately, Figure is saying it's building the most diverse robot training dataset ever. They touted 264,000 app downloads across 108 countries, over 44,000 weekly active users, and over 16 million videos uploaded. Their current ingest rate is about 30 minutes of video uploads every second, which Figure is equating to about 4.9 years of human work every day uploaded. And the creators, they're calling them, the people providing this video footage, have been paid $15 million to date. And Figure says it's on a path to 100x that number, and it's committed to spending over $1 billion in the next year on data and compute. But the breakdown between those two was not shared. Figure said it tried buying data from vendors first, but those vendors couldn't hit the throughput or the diversity or the quality bar that Helix needed, so it built its own Figure exclusive pipeline. Some of the tasks named: cooking, cleaning, laundry, household chores, logistics centers, restaurants, factories, offices, and some examples like kitty litter, oil changes, and bussing tables. And importantly, Figure said Index is laying the groundwork for ordering robots as a service. So maybe before you can buy your own humanoid to do everything, you can hire one on a short-term basis to do specific tasks. But just know, not all of these videos are making it into Figure's pre-training. Figure has to filter through these videos, they have to do fraud checks, they have to eliminate duplicates, and so its actual training set is likely a lot smaller than these headline numbers. So very clearly the data gathering race is now in full swing, with a few different companies taking a few different approaches. The Boring Company just got approval for an additional 19 Vegas Loop stations, so the Vegas Loop is now entitled for 123 stations, and because Loop is point-to-point with no intermediate stops, in the limit one could have a loop station in every driveway. And of course, unlike a subway that has to stop at every point along the ride, making the ride that much longer, with a loop, you get into your vehicle and go non-stop to wherever your end destination is. So the loop can continue building out as many stations ideally as it can, because it doesn't have to worry about those intermediate stops for passengers. They currently have 7 machines in operation, with I think it's 11 expected toward the end of this year, and it's only a matter of time until we see the Cybercab and eventually the Robovan in these tunnels as well. And Diego shared a video showing that there are in the neighborhood of 30 cybercabs now stationed in Las Vegas. And it's very early, but Devin is saying that even with 14.3.8, he is still seeing some parking issues. And if you're wondering, Dylan, what about Starbase Louisiana? Well, it is so critical that it definitely involves a video of its own, not just the headline news, but actually running some numbers, doing a bit of analysis, a bit of a deep dive. And so that is what I am working on. Hopefully that'll be uploaded either tomorrow or Friday. So hopefully you'll all be able to catch that one. Tesla stock closed the day at $345.82, down 1.26%, and SpaceX closed at $139.63, up 1.22%, all while the NDX was up 0.05%. Don't forget, check out Moomoo, linked below. Do not overlook the platform like I did for so long. It offers a lot more capability than the name would imply. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.